What are the components of a well-constructed plan? I'm sure you take into consideration future tax rates as one thing, Jay?
Future tax rates are really, really important. I think, Steve, if you will, we can maybe cover some of the tax rates and history later on in this episode. But I think the most important thing to understanding what is a written plan, because so many people don't have it. They don't even know what they don't have. Many people walk in with copies of their broker statements and say, here you go, here's my plan. And there's nothing there, right? It doesn't tell us anything except for a snapshot, a view in a moment of history of what your portfolio may be worth. But when you think about a proper plan, it should include a conversation about income. What are going to be my income sources when I stop working? How will those income sources continue to grow over my retirement? What are my expenses today, and how will they climb over time, right? Just think about inflation, which is a huge topic recently.
Oh, sure.
How will the cost of inflation affect my purchasing power? Because if I continue to only make $100 a month, but the price of bread goes from $1 to $1.50 to $2 and continues to go up, if that fixed income is not growing as fast as the rate of inflation, then we've got some purchase power risk. So a good written plan will include a conversation about income, but it will also include a conversation about our investments and how do we segment those so some of our investments are safe and continue to provide great returns during volatile periods, and another part of our asset base to continue to grow through the longer period of cycle, more aggressive, a little bit more geared towards growth. All of this is really important, but it can't be decided simply by having a written plan that is pre-drafted. There is no such thing. A written plan is customized to the individual, and each person has a different attitude towards risk. So part of a good written plan is a conversation about risk tolerance, risk management, risk capacity. And what we're talking about here is, what is your individual risk attitude? How much risk do you prefer to keep within your portfolio? And of the risk you're willing to take, how much risk are you willing to take for a certain amount of return? And so we talk about risk tolerance, risk preferences, and then we compare all of that to the actual risk you're taking today within your portfolio. Because what you prefer and what you have may be two totally different things. And for most people, if they even are working with an advisor, they're typically working with the broker. And the only thing they're doing is suitability, which is if you're moderate, we'll put you in a moderate portfolio. But it doesn't talk about what will happen when that moderate portfolio starts to go down in value. And so we have to talk about what are the ways in which we can protect the plan by having the right buckets of money, doing the right things at the right time, and each of those things having a different function at each different phase of our life.
Sure.
So a written plan is going to include all of that. And I think the other thing is, again, coming back to taxes, a view towards taxes, managing taxes, lowering taxes, and then finally, what happens when we pass? How will our estate go to those that we intended to go to, whether it's the next generation, other family members, charities, whatever it might be for you, you want to make sure that the majority of your wealth passes to the people you care about instead of being taxed and given away to the government.
Sure.